Well, let me ask you this then.
The fact that you would give me this.
You
can't
like
even
that?
make this up. So you just want me to TSA to take this from me and not arrested at the airport. I'm on to you, man.
Everyday citizens carrying a gun reduces crime or increases crime?
I think the evidence suggests the opposite. It increases. I'm also deeply mindful and respectful of the Second Amendment.
And am I going to lose my rights, when I fought for the country because somebody, that deems me unstable? Well, maybe I'm not.
Oh, geez, what do you got, man?
Here we go. You ready for this?
Oh, Jesus.
Ready for this?
Is this an accident? I got to report this gift, man.
That is a California compliant SIG Sauer P365 macro.
Come on, man.
I don't know exactly what makes it.
By the way, this is too cool. The fact that you would give me this.
You like that?
Make this up. So you just want me to TSA to take this from me and my ass is arrested at the airport. I'm on to you, man.
Well, I got a buddy at SIG, and now he was like, you got to get a SIG in his
You can't
hands.
even make
Name's
this up.
Jason.
Brother, this is fabulous. You know what? Last thing people would expect is that I respect this gift.
Really?
I appreciate, yeah, man. I'm not anti-gun at all. I'm for just some gun safety, common sense that I think vast majority of folks to the right and the left agree. And I think we've lost a little touch with some common sense around background checks. I think there's an age appropriateness. I do have some, I'm challenged by large capacity magazine clips in urban centers and weapons of war that are out there, sometimes outgunning the police. And I've experienced that directly with the loss of a police officer who was gunned down by an AK-47, and the police were outgunned in Bayview Hunters Point in San Francisco. But otherwise, man, people have the right to bear arms, and I got no ideological opposition to that at all.
Do you think...
By the way.
You're welcome.
That's crazy. Last damn thing I expected. I expected a hat, okay? You gave me a goddamn gun.
Well, I got another gift for you, too.
You? Okay, all
right. But diving into the 2A stuff, I'm just curious. We see a lot of the cities that you can't conceal carry, or it's extremely hard to get concealed carry, or California being one of them.
Yeah.
Illinois, New York. I mean, do you think that everyday citizens carrying a gun reduces crime or increases crime?
I think the evidence suggests the opposite. It increases the likelihood of a gun death. And you look at all the states with the most comprehensive gun safety reforms, they have lower gun death rates than states with weaker gun laws. And there's a correlation there. California is one of the lowest gun death rates in America. The highest murder rates in the country tend to be red states, significantly so. You look at the murder rate, 8 of the top 10 murder rates per capita in the country are all red states.
Well, I thought Chicago was the number one.
No, as cities, you'll have different experiences. But at state levels, gun safety, from our perspective, saves lives, and we have the data to bear that out. You look at the common sense gun safety laws that California started establishing in the 90s. You look at our gun death rate from the 90s till today, significant reduction, nation-leading reduction in the gun death rate. So that's the prism to which I'm into the data, I'm into the evidence. I'm also deeply mindful and respectful of the Second Amendment and people's constitutional rights. But as it relates to just simple common sense around the idea we're addressing the issue of background checks, and we haven't fundamentally addressed some of those gaps for people that are struggling with mental health disorders and the like, or substance abuse. I just don't understand that gap.
Well, I think that the gap is at least for me, I can tell you why it bothers me. I mean, I carry a gun everywhere. To protect myself and my family.
Appreciate it.
And when I hear about the background checks and mentally unstable people, I mean, a lot of veterans, I mean, almost all veterans are pro-gun and fought for the country and want to be able to own one to protect themselves and their family, and especially if there's any recourse from those wars, which we've talked about it on here. There's supposedly over 1,000 sleeper cells of terrorists within our borders, and but if we go down that road, I mean, I know for a lot of veterans, me included, is some people have been diagnosed with PTSD and depression and shit like that from coming home from combat. And so is it, maybe we start with schizophrenia, but then the next thing is, oh, well, Is PTS going to be on there?
I
Is
hear you.
depression going to
I
be
hear
on
you.
there?
I
And
hear
am I going to lose my fucking rights, when I fought for the country because somebody, that deems me unstable? Well, maybe I'm not.
Right.
And
But a convicted felon, someone that has had a violent, dangerous past, someone who's a domestic abuser, and I'd like to red flag some of those folks. I mean,
I can't argue that.
yeah,
I can't argue that.
And so unless we have a system that allows at least some vetting with some objective constraints along the lines of what you suggest, now it's just this zero sum games. Like you're either pro gun or anti. It's like no. That's not the case, man. There's nuance here. And I think if you look, I'm not a polling guy, but it's interesting when you look at gun safety polling, like Fox News polls, and these sort of top 4 controversial issues, they're overwhelmingly supported, bipartisan support for some of these safety measures. And I just think people demagogue this, they demagogue on all sides. But that, it's not inuring to a safer country. I mean, there's no other country in the world that has this kind of gun violence. And it suggests we're doing something very differently than the rest of the world. Everyone has mental health problems. It's not unique to the United States of America. It's not about that. That's not the issue. I just think it is the accessibility. The suicide rates are off the charts in the United States because of the simple access as well. So look, it's a tough issue. It's very divisive. It's weaponized. Again, blue and red. Certainly weaponized nationally. But lived experience, former mayor, living in cities, dense urban centers, and looking at the evidence in California, I'm for, as I refer to it, common sense gun safety.
Well, let me ask you this then. I mean, I know you want certain weapons restricted, and, there's the California compliant versions of everything, but it's really hard for people to get a concealed carry permit in California.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah, because the idea of, I think there's a cultural construct in California that people just don't want people running around with concealed carry. And folks you're running into in a restaurant or bar, or you're on the BART in Bay Area Rapid Transit, or you're in the school or in the playground, and everyone running around that's got a gun, and the good guys from the bad guys. I think there's just sort of a cultural mindset around that, a concern around that. We allow for it. There's a process. There's law enforcement has a process. By the way, we exempt law enforcement from these gun safety laws in the vast majority of cases, along the lines of what you're suggesting as it relates to our veterans and military. There are exceptions to many of the rules that we advance. But on concealed carry, that's been a principle that we just believe in, a permit process that's, admittedly very comprehensive.
And it's what your state wants.
It's what the state, I think, overwhelmingly wants.
Well, I disagree with it. I do, digging into your background, I've found a number of things that have a number of narratives against you that there's definitely some nuance on. But one thing that I did find is that it does seem that whether people want to fucking agree with me or blast me or whatever for saying it, it seems like you're doing what the majority of the population in California wants. And
look, and it's not look, they don't hire me to be a weather vane, right? I think leadership's defined, they hire me for judgment, and they want leadership. And so it's not about public opinion in that respect, but you have to be sensitive to public opinion. I did 2 gun safety laws that I actually put on the ballot, so I can validate the assertion that I just made. That's where the public is, because my gun safety legislation overwhelmingly passed in California.
Interesting.
And so that was my initiative. I got out, I did signatures and put it in front of the voters, work with law enforcement on some exceptions and exemptions along the lines that I suggest. And it's been well received. Now there's certain pockets and camps, folks in the gun rights movement, I'm a poster child for them. I get it.
No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.